mentioned this before, but when it comes to getting ahead financially, there are two routes you can take: increasing your income or decreasing your expenses. There's no denying the power of increased income, but that doesn't mean that small cutbacks can't make a difference. Sometimes starting small can be beneficial over time. Not to mention, when you dive right in and avoid starting small, you run the risk of burning out or failing, neither of which are great when it comes to budgeting your money. In this video, I'm sharing 5 ways small cutbacks yield great results in case you are wondering what the point of cutting back is. Number one, small cutbacks lead to bigger cutbacks. Before you can go big, you need to start small, especially with your budget. When you make too many cutbacks at once, you run the risk of splurging. It is a proven science, okay? You deprive yourself for as long as possible, then you end up spending a ton of money that you would have had you only made small cutbacks to your budget. Until you can master budgeting in moderation, you won't be able to get rid of the big ticket spending areas. That's just one of the reasons why starting small with your cutbacks can lead to bigger results over time. When you get to a point where small cutbacks have minimal impact to your happiness, you can start focusing your efforts on bigger spending cuts. Number two, small cutbacks test your capability and willpower. At one point in time, we have all purchased something we shouldn't have. We knew it wasn't good for our budget, or that it would put us in debt, or we would need to take from savings, but we purchased it anyways. I am guilty of this too. Now, while we cannot change our past spending decisions, we can leverage small cutbacks as a test of our current willpower when it comes to buying things we don't need. So here's an example. If you buy coffee every weekday, a small cutback could be buying coffee every other weekday instead. It's much easier to convince yourself to skip a coffee purchase today if you know you will purchase one tomorrow. Imagine if you had decided to quit buying coffee altogether. You went from getting coffee every day to nothing. There will likely be a time where your willpower is tested and you may succumb to getting coffee. Give yourself a chance to succeed by easing your way into the coffee cutback. I recommend this for my clients. I think going all in is not an effective long term strategy. Okay, number three, small cutbacks truly do add up when they are consistent. While the $1 savings here and $1 savings there may not be much at all, at once, it certainly adds up. If you don't believe me, think about, your retirement plan. You might have a small amount of money every paycheck going in there. That amount of money every paycheck doesn't seem grand, but when you look at your retirement portfolio, you're like, holy cow, that added up. It's the same thing with cutbacks. You can see the power of small cutbacks when you start tracking your spending. Before you make small budget cuts, I want you to analyze and write down what your spending currently is. Then factor in your small cutbacks and stick to it. Add up the savings over the course of, let's say, a quarter or every 6 months, and you will understand why small cutbacks can be impactful. Number four, small cutbacks keep you motivated. There is a science behind goal setting and achieving those goals. A key factor is baby steps. Basically, starting with small changes until they become the norm. Small changes are much easier to stay consistent with than big changes. And the same applies to cutbacks in your budget. Small cutbacks are a lot easier to stay consistent with than heavy or big budget cuts. As you succeed at your small cutbacks, you keep the motivation alive to fight on. Your small wins serve as inspiration to keep the wins going. You also realize that a small slip up can be remedied much easier than an expensive slip up, therefore, making it easier to get yourself back on track. So, as you succeed with the small cutbacks in your spending and your budget, you can see how capable you actually are. You can harness that capability to keep going, keep the momentum and the motivation alive to see this through. And number five, small cutbacks turn into lifestyle changes. As you master small cutbacks in your budget, they will get easier and easier. It will eventually get to the point where you don't even have to think about it. At one point, you would have splurged because you had zero willpower, but now that small cutbacks are the norm for you, you don't think twice about buying something you don't need. This alone makes small cutbacks so powerful. Those small, seemingly harmless cutbacks lead to a complete lifestyle change. And once your lifestyle is changed, you open the door for greater things to come your way. You understand that the little things do add up, and you have enough willpower to say no to things that won't help you in the long term. And I think that mindset shift that comes with small cutbacks really can be leveraged consistently over time to get the results you want. So, I hope this video has inspired you to think small in addition to thinking big. Small changes can lead to amazing results, especially if they're consistent.